do this.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KCOC.
Another law in California. More lawmakers trying to keep themselves busy have now decided to try and regulate. Well, I don't know if they're trying. I think they did, right?
I don't know.
We're still waiting for this law to pass, right? This hasn't passed.
Yeah, this is
okay.
No, and this is what California is notorious for. The lawmakers they bring the assembly bills up, and then there's some kind of negotiation, and then they come up with I think common sense takes over in a less intrusive version of it. I can see this one being accepted, though.
Mainly because they're trying to stop crime.
See?
Because people are stealing.
Even the internet guys say so. What they're going to do is when there's a self checkout, they're going to limit the items that you can have at a self checkout to 10 items or less, because it's too easy for people to dupe the system, I guess, if you will. I think that's how I always operated under the understanding that that's how self-checkouts were. I thought it was like 15 items at some places, whatever. I've seen signs that said, please limit to 15 items or less. But I think if you make it a law, then people that go in there with like 40 items and they're self-checking out everything, and they'll be like, oh, well, I didn't know. Like this used to happen all the time with the express lane, right? The express lane, you get in the express lane, and it was for people that were getting 10 items or less because it was quicker for that lane to move. And inevitably, you'd always have somebody with like 26 items in there, and everybody's looking at them like, what's this person doing in this line? And then they'd get up there and they'd say, oh, I didn't see the sign, or something stupid like that. And I can see that happening here unless they make it a law. If they make it a law, then everybody's got to know and abide by the laws, right?
So when I was reading into, besides the 10 items, they're going to have one staff member represent two registers.
Yes.
So when we could just have that staff member, think about it. One staff member could use one register and check out 2 or 3 times the people that one person can do on their own. So it takes 2 people, or it takes one staff member to check 2 people out, that it takes the same time for one person to check themselves out. Because they're better at it, right? They should be able to. I mean, they should be able to do it super fast. So this is what's weird to me. We're still pushing towards self-checkout, yet we could probably be way more efficient with our time and make more money if we just had the the clerk ring out the people. Because the more items you run through that scanner and you run a Visa on, the more money the store is making. If we're sitting around waiting around because I'm trying to figure out how to use the scanner, and I know how to use it now, and I'm still slow because I want to make sure I don't forget anything, because that one time you get caught with something that you left in your basket because you accidentally missed it, it's embarrassing.
This is the problem with this law, okay, is the fact that one employee's got to monitor 2 checkouts. I feel like they should be able to monitor more than just 2 checkouts, especially because this law also requires the grocery store to not have that person do any other duties while their shift is going on, while they're monitoring the 2 checkout stands. Now, I have a friend who has this job. He watches 10 checkout stands. Okay. And he just kind of looks around and sees what's going on.
Well, let's get him on. I've got questions to ask him. I want to figure out how to steal. What are the things that I could be doing that you're not looking for?
He works the night shift. I think this is too early for him to get on.
God. Yeah.
But
don't protect your friends from me. I'm harmless.
But he does just fine with 10, and then sometimes he'll get pulled away to do something else.
Right.
And that gives the flexibility to the employer, the grocery store, to do as needed. Plus, there are slow times and there are busy times. So now you're going to have, during the slow time, somebody that's assigned to 2 checkouts staring at the checkouts, and nobody's there for sometimes hours on end. So now this does nothing to drive the price down for the consumer. If anything, it's going to drive the price up for the consumer. Leave it on the grocery stores to limit their loss by whatever they need to do. And what I always thought they should do is where my friend works, the self-checkouts are all in one bank. And then there's one exit out of that area with that one bank. What I thought that they should do is they should have him take a look at the receipt, give the eyeball test to what's in the bag, and be like, okay, you're good to go. Then that way you would know, okay, look at that. Like they do at Costco. When you walk out of Costco, they check and see how many items you have, right?
Yeah, and they just count them. That's all. They're not actually looking for everything on the list. They're just going, right. It says there's 14 items here, and they're counting your basket. And if there's 14, great. If there's 13, then you made a mistake, and they'll say, hey, you actually overcharged yourself. Or if there's too many, they'll be like, wait a second, the butter's not on here. Yeah. And you have to go back.
So they're efficient. They're efficient at as long as they're efficient, they're doing their job right? And it's only the cost of one employee, not, like I said, my friend overlooks 10. You'd have to have 5 more people working, or 5 people total working at this place where the bank is of these self-checkouts, and they're just a lot of times they're just going to be sitting there twiddling their thumbs because they're not allowed to get pulled off of that job. So what that'll lead to is them shutting down some of the self-checkouts, which will then make it lengthier. And this is where the lawmakers need to find a go-between. And how about asking some people in the grocery store business, like, what would best serve you? Instead of just saying, this is what we're going to start doing.
So we got the James McKiernan poll question, 800-200-HURT. Right now, kzoz.com, and your options are?
Well, this is, do you think it should be limited to 10 items per trip?
Okay.
And the options are, yeah, that should be enough to deter theft. No, why should I have to wait in a long line if I'm getting more, if I'm shopping for my family? Or I thought there was a limit already. I have to answer, I thought there was a limit already. I mean, I seriously did. I thought that people that with like 30 items were supposed to go through the self-checkout.
There's a limit on how many checkers they actually put out there to check you out. That's why everybody goes there, because there's like 2 check stands open. They've got 4 people in each line, so everybody goes to self-checkout because they think it's going to be faster.
It is faster.
All right, kzoz.com.
Join the Central Coast Social Network. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. KZOZ.
A 28-year-old postal worker in Ohio, this is the United States Postal Service, got pulled over from the cops after her and like a 5.0 Mustang were racing. Yes, I'm talking about a mail van.
Is there a reason you're going over 100?
I didn't realize that I was going that fast.
Yeah. I mean, that Mustang took off. He caught my attention, and then you blew by him, and I was pacing you at like 105. Did you know the person in the Mustang?
No.
Okay.
They were driving around ridiculous on 590. But...
I kind of assumed when the way they took off and at the light there, because I was right across from you.
Right.
So he saw me coming up behind him, and he did the right thing and stopped or slowed down, and then you continued.
If she was a male, I don't think that conversation is as friendly with the officer. I think
I got to tell you something. Okay, there's one thing I remember.
Pass.
One thing I remember from driver's ed, and this was like the trick question thing. They said, okay, a postal service vehicle, a postal service vehicle, an ambulance, and a police officer all pull up to the same 4-way stop at the same time. Who's got the right of way? And we're all like, well, it's got to be the ambulance because that's like somebody who's in, there could be somebody in there whose life is threatened. Then the
lights would be on. The lights would be on. But they didn't say that, right?
No, they did not say that.
It's the person to your right.
They did not say that. You know which one has the right of way?
The person to your right.
No.
Or the person that got there first.
I mean, theoretically, yes. But as recognized by the law, at least in 1990, it was the U.S. Postal Service because it was a federal government agency. The other ones were local jurisdictions, and you have no right of way.
They took backseat to the federal job, huh?
Yeah. So I think knowing that, and if that's still true, I don't know if it's still true. It's one of my takeaways from driver's ed. Knowing that is pretty ballsy of the police officer to pull over the postal service van because
she was going 105.
They're above your pay grade at that point.
105 miles an hour.
Reason you're going over 100?
I didn't realize that I was going that fast.
Yeah. I mean, that Mustang took off. He caught my attention, and then you blew by him, and I was pacing you at like 105.
I
Okay, first off, I don't know if anybody else was like, wait a second, a U.S. Postal Service van, I've seen those things. They don't look like they can go over 40. But this was a new one. This was a new van.
Yeah, the newer ones, they're nice, man. You kidding me? UPS is now getting doors that close and air conditioning as part of their union contract. I couldn't imagine what the Postal Service's union contract is. I mean, especially in California, where we have $27 billion of overspending that we do. You know, I mean, okay, come on, they got to be comfortable, Jeremy.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. Listen online at kzoz.com.
Louisiana kids are lucky. They were found that they have the unhealthiest lunches in the nation.
Oh, really? Okay.
But you know what the most popular lunch item is in the state?
Pizza.
No.
That's what it was at my high school.
What fast food place touts being from Louisiana?
Well, probably a fried chicken place.
Popeyes.
Oh, okay.
Popeyes.
I didn't even know that.
Popeyes. The most popular lunch item on the menu at schools across the state of Louisiana are fried chicken. Did you ever once get offered fried chicken as a option for hot lunch in school?
I don't think we did. No. I don't remember.
The closest thing we had was the chicken sandwich, which was the breaded chicken.
Well, we had chicken nuggets.
Awesome.
We had chicken nuggets. So we'd have chicken nuggets and French fries. I remember you could do chicken nuggets, but there was no like fried chicken. And some schools even had they have deals now with pizza or Taco Bells or whatever to serve that food in their school. Have you heard this? This is crazy. I can't even imagine that. What was the best part about becoming old enough to drive off campus was we could go to a fast food place. Now there's actually high schools that have, or they may not anymore, certain days where they would have Taco Bell tacos or they would have Pizza Hut pizzas.
Really?
Yeah.
My kids, they have a situation where a local pizzeria does Pizza Mondays, Pizza Republic over here. They bring in pizza.
Really? That's great.
Into the school for Pizza Monday.
Oh, I love Pizza Republic. They do some great stuff.
Yeah.
Lucky kids.
Yeah, I know. There's never leftover pizza.
Well, you're rich.
Because they always get it right before
Jeff's
they
got
leave.
rich kid. He's, rich school. I don't know who's paying for it. I can't imagine you're paying for it. You must have like the in-laws paying for your kids to go to the rich school where they get Pizza Republic on Mondays. For God's sakes. That's awesome. All I had was cheese on my fries. That was a big day, Put some cheese on some nacho cheese on your French fries.
And just to clarify, that's the only day they get hot lunch.
What do you mean the only day?
The other days, you know how much lunch costs at their school? I didn't know this. I totally felt like
probably $10 a lunch.
Like what's the guy that's coming to the California Mid-State Fair? The funny guy,
Jelly Roll.
No, not Jelly Roll. Come on, stop with the Jelly Roll. The guy that we like. Why can't I remember his name?
Yeah, we just gave away tickets to his show, and I'm drawing a blank as well. But he's got a first and a last name. He's got a first and a last name. Nate Bargatze.
Yeah, Nate Bargatze. When Nate Bargatze's talking about dropping his kids off at school, and then they call him and they're like, "What time is your kid supposed to be picked up?" He's like, "I don't know. I have no idea." The other day, I said to my kids, I was like, "How come you guys never get hot lunch?" And they had to break down why they never get hot lunch. Thank God, because I would just pay for the hot lunch and get the bill at the end of the month, and I'd be shocked. They never get hot lunch because hot lunch is $8 per. So it'd be $16 a day.
Wow.
For hot lunch. I was like, whoa, does it look good? And they're like, yeah, it looks really good. I was like, yeah, because you guys are getting like restaurant quality.
Well, why don't you cook them up on Fridays or something? Drop one in a week. Get them some hot lunch.
No, because then that sets the standard. That sets the standard too.
Do their friends get hot lunch?
Some of them do, yeah. My kids are known as the poor kids, yes.
Yeah, because they come to school in a Honda Mini, like, Dad, can you get a Tesla, please? Like James's parents.
Yes.
He gets hot lunch every day. He has his fancy Tesla he shows up in. You bring me in this minivan.
Luckily,
Poor
my kids love the minivan.
They're too young.
The
I think they're too young to be affected by it. It's almost like when you get to junior high when kids start being jerks. Trust me, they're not going to want to ride in the minivan when they get to junior high.
Inside the car.
7th, 8th grade, they'll be like, Dad, you need to drop me off down here. I got to walk in.
They're going to have to learn how to like that when they get dropped off. Because it's awesome car.
Okay, my favorite items for hot lunch, we'd had burrito day, and they would deep fry the burritos, so they were really good. They were awesome.
That is good.
It was kind of like when I went to school, and I think it's gone away, but the hot case, there's a few in town. It was like hot case lunch. That's what it was. The pizza pockets, the pizza slices, the burritos, the Joes, but then they'd put like a little bit of lettuce, a little bit of iceberg lettuce in one of the squares, put some Thousand Island on it. There's your salad. And then we could always pick chocolate or regular milk. And that's why I'm such a milk guy. I'm convinced of it because I, would eat it at school.
You drink it all through high school and after high school when you go to
for grade school through junior high, I had a packed lunch. But when I got to high school, my mom was like, all right, I'm done making you lunches. I'm just going to give you money. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
I put the money in my pocket and go eat Laffy Taffies out of the vending machine.
Yeah, exactly. You could take the money and then you could go buy like the real hot lunch, which had the vegetables and everything that you didn't want to eat. We had like a snack bar where we could go get the chicken sandwich or the burritos that were fried that you're talking about, or chicken nuggets or anything like that. And we'd always go over there. The line was always the longest unless there was a wild card. And the wild card was some days the regular lunch would be like pizza or macaroni and cheese or something that we liked. And then we'd be like, oh, I got to go over there today. Yeah, so what? I got some vegetables. I got a stomach. But
what was your favorite food item that you got served at school? Maybe it was nothing. Maybe it was all terrible. But if you want to weigh in, 805-543-3693. If you agree with us, you can write that as well. But we had a lot of pop machines. Do you think are there still pop machines in schools? I can see how they took all the pop machines out.
Oh, they're not going to turn down that revenue.
Oh, okay, yeah. The school made a lot of money on that.
Fee to put them in there.
But we did have an apple machine, and it was like this big box that had a crystal clear window, and they had all these apples in there, and you'd put your 25 cents in it and get an apple. That was weird.
How many fruit flies were flying around that?
None, zero. Because it was refrigerated. It's pretty nice.
It reminds me of the time in the office that Dwight put beets in the when he took over the building, and he put beets in the vending machine.
Oh no! Isn't that when they went on a diet? He took everything out and put like vegetables in there.
Right. Yeah, that's what it was. Yes, because he didn't want anybody. They needed to lose weight collectively as the office. And so he didn't want Phyllis eating junk food.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Turn it on in the morning.
Every morning.
Come on, girl.
And leave it all day long. Because they're funny, they're entertaining.
Shake that booty. From 93.3 KZOZ. How pathetic can some people be?
I was taking a walk near my house recently, and I was at a traffic light, and the light was red, and there was a car at the light and a pickup truck behind it. And the light turned green, and the car didn't immediately go, so the guy in the pickup truck just laid on the horn. And I was walking right next to that truck when that happened, and it startled me. And I went, ah! Because you don't get to pick how you react when you're scared half to death. I know we'd all love to have Jason Bourne type reflexes. How many exits? I got the one where you just go, ah! The guy in the pickup truck sees how I react. He doesn't even bat an eye, just looks at me and goes, queer. Wow. Talk about judging a book by its cover. No, I get it. This novel screams gay. But inside, romantic comedy. What do you say to somebody that's not afraid to yell queer in the middle of the street? Like, that guy's clearly ready to go to war. It's not like I can be like, what did you say? And he's going to be like, oh, crap. Oh, well, I picked the wrong queer. This guy's crazy. They're supposed to be docile.
Dumbass of the day. 93.3 KZOZ.
All right, coming up, dumbass of the day, a YouTube streamer. I don't know if you know what that is, but that's somebody who apparently does like selfie videos of themselves on streams it live on YouTube.
We work with one of those, I believe.
Do we? Okay, good. Yeah. So this person was smoking pot, driving a car, and streaming on her phone. And
brilliant.
Things went horribly, horribly wrong. We'll tell you what happened to her. And if the person's all right that she hit with her car. Coming up next.
Dumbass of the day. Whack, 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 whack.
This happened in Los Angeles. I'm just going to play the audio for you, and then we'll pick it up from there. But what you're listening to is a young 20-something-year-old YouTube streamer doing a live video in her car as she's smoking a J, driving through a parking lot, talking into her phone, and not paying attention to who's in front.
Because there's not enough distraction in this young woman's life, right?
No, he does hear those voices. They're not fake, but I wonder. Oh my God, are you okay?
Did you hear that?
Sorry. Sorry about that.
She's talking. Did you hear the woman roll over the hood of her car?
Voices. They're not fake, but I wonder. Oh my God, are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. You just hit me with your car and you're
hit me with your car.
A joint talking to your phone.
I didn't see her. Why are you not looking? I was looking. I didn't see you. Oh my God, you guys. I don't know what just happened, but it wasn't good.
Yeah, right. Because you were talking into your phone, smoking weed. Maybe that's why you hit her.
And you know what? This
the amount
woman,
of distraction.
She gets the woman is okay. But she just takes off. No cops are called, nothing. And then the dumbass posts this video on her YouTube page. And now the cops are going to find her.
Love it.
You can smoke weed, but you can't smoke weed and drive while looking at your cell phone and then hit someone. That's vehicular assault, sister. God, these young people today.
But as a Californian, Jeremy, she has the right to be as distracted as humanly possible before she gets behind the wheel of a vehicle.
Oh my God, are you okay?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not okay.
When I see people like literally looking at their phone driving down the road, you just want to swerve. You just want to, like, are you kidding me? I saw the other day a woman's driving, hands at 10 and 2, good on that, and looking right down in her lap because that's where she had her phone and she was reading something.
Right. And the funny thing is, like, they'll slow down to like 50 miles an hour. And so I know this being a minivan driver more than anybody, okay? People hate getting passed by minivans. Like, it is like the worst thing that can happen to most people is when a minivan passes them. It's like the awareness sign that's like, oh, maybe you shouldn't be distracted because a minivan is passing you. And I will pass people when they're doing stuff like this, driving 50 because I'm a slow lane driver for the most part, you know, when I'm driving slow, but then I come up on somebody going 70, I'm going 72 miles an hour. They're going 50 miles an hour. I go around them and they see that a minivan's passing them and then they speed up. They get, I'm doing my part in stopping distracted driving by driving a minivan.
It's not minivan envy, but they just can't handle
it's embarrassment.
By a minivan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a minivan embarrassment. Oh my God, I just got passed by a minivan. I must be really distracted. I better get back to focusing on the eyes on the prize, and then they'll pass me. I'm like, wait, I just passed you by 20 miles an hour just a minute ago. Why are you passing me? Oh, it must have been because I passed you. Because I'm driving a minivan. I just
thought of the funniest thing. What if you got like a sticker? You know, people put stickers all over their cars. Big one. It's a middle finger. And you put it on the passenger window and you roll it down. And then when that person, you drive up next to that person, you roll up the window. Flips them off.
That would require me to have my window down all the time.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on that idea. There's a few flaws.
Funny.
There's a few flaws.
It would be funny, yeah.
I tell you what, this is what we need to invest in because this is going to be here before you know it. The government is going to make it illegal to even have a cell phone device, or they're going to have some way to jam it or do something to where it doesn't work. The company that first comes up with a way to integrate your phone into your car, like newer vehicles have now.
So you're talking about like Ford and Toyota and Honda.
But it's not just Bluetooth. Talking about when it gets in your vehicle, it will lock it or it will make it to where you can't use your phone, but if a call comes in, you can answer it.
You can only use it on Bluetooth.
Yes. You can't look at the screen. You can't do any of that stuff. I guarantee you that day is coming. And
I think Harp's working on that.
You want to be ready to invest in that company. If I was smart enough, maybe Brian and
you can't invest in Harp.
Don and Los Osos figured some.
That's a government agency, my friend.
Get Eric at Radio Shack. Got a Radio Shack guy. He knows a lot about wavelengths. Figure this out. I'm sure they sold a few cell phones in his day. Anyways, to this dumb YouTube streamer who hit a woman smoking weed, congratulations, you're Jeff and Jeremy.
Dumbass of the day. It's Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ. Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.